First, we do want to turn to that dramatic day in court when Elizabeth Smart took the stand to testify for the first time ever about how she was kidnapped at knife point, held hostage for 9 months, and sexually abused. And not even her own family had heard some of the details about her ordeal. Her father, Ed Smart, is standing by to talk to us live in just a moment. ABC's Barbara Pinto tells us more about the day of testimony.
Elizabeth Smart was poised and calm on the stand, recounting 9 months of horror.
There were certainly a lot of things that I had never heard before, and I had no idea what she had gone through.
Family members cringed when she spoke of the brutal sexual abuse, testifying she was raped 3 to 4 times a day by her alleged captor, Brian Mitchell, a homeless, self-proclaimed prophet. She said there wasn't an actual 24-hour period that he wasn't able to rape me. The nightmare began in 2002. Elizabeth was 14. Mitchell broke into the bedroom she shared with her sister. He came into my room, she said, her voice breaking, held a knife to my throat and threatened me and my family's life and said, "Come with me." He marched her deep into the canyon where she met his wife, Wanda Barzee. Both staged an impromptu wedding, making Elizabeth Mitchell's second wife. The abuse horrific, chained between 2 trees, her legs bolted. She said Mitchell used alcohol and drugs to rape her and threatened to kill her and her family if she tried to escape. Anything that I showed resistance or hesitation to, she said, he would turn to me and say, "The Lord commanded you to do this. You have to experience the lowest form of humanity to experience the highest." Elizabeth never came face to face with her alleged abductor. The shackled and shaggy defendant refused to stop singing hymns, so the judge sent him to a holding cell to watch on videotape. After this difficult day in court, Elizabeth will move on, leaving on an overseas church mission trip, while a judge decides whether her accused captor is mentally fit to stand trial. For Good Morning America, Barbara Pinto, ABC News, Salt Lake City.
And her father, Ed Smart, joining us live now from Salt Lake City, Utah. And Ed, we saw you, tears in your eyes. These were details she had not ever told you?
You know, I knew somewhat, but I just had no idea of the scope of what she went through. I couldn't believe that anyone would be such an animal.
And I know, because you told me years ago that you had been advised not to press her, let her tell you everything in her time. What did she say to you afterwards? What did you say to each other?
You know, I just told her how proud I was to sit there in that courtroom and hear basically her story and the story of Brian David Mitchell from the time he was young to this point in time. I couldn't believe anyone could be so abusive, so self-absorbed, and so selfish as to do and to hide behind the skirt of religion that he has. It's just
well, you know, for
outrageous.
7 years, I know you've been trying to seek justice on this case, but 2 times he has been found delusional, to have a delusional disorder, incompetent to stand trial. From what you heard yesterday, from seeing him in court, are you sure that he is competent?
I am sure. I mean, you think that for 1.5 years after he was back, he was considered competent and came very close to doing a plea deal. So what changed that scenario from him being competent at that time to being incompetent? The fact that he wouldn't help in his own defense? I mean, to me, that is absolutely no excuse. And right now, one of the things that is really frustrating is to hear that the U.S. attorney, the prosecutor, Brett Tolman, is potentially going to be pulled off the case and replaced. I mean, it's at the leisure of the U.S. attorney, but I would just ask and plead for him, after so many years and coming so close, that we're able to complete this and that he not be pulled off this case.
I think it stuns a lot of people that Elizabeth apparently wanted to face him in that courtroom. She wanted to look at his face as she told this story?
She did. She wanted to actually see him muzzled there and have to face her and know that, you know, this is what you are and this is what you did. And, you know, get out of here thinking that you're going to manipulate the system, which he has done for 6 years, to think that you are going to continue this charade.
Even the defense attorney said how courageous she was. Is this it? Will this let her move to a new chapter now in her life?
You know, this is just the competency hearing. So, you know, we don't know for sure what's going to happen, but this is the first time that Elizabeth has come forward, and I was incredibly proud of her yesterday to see her sit there and be able to tell, you know, the horror of what she went through, and be able to, you know, share with the judge what kind of a person he was in the manner that she did. It was just, you know, I just want to thank everyone out there for their prayers and their support.
And is she all right? Are there nightmares? Is there anything you worry about still?
No, you know, yesterday we left and we went up to our cabin. That's why I look the way I do. I just came straight down from there. I have no idea, but she has been completely amazing to me, and you know, life is moving forward, and she is, you know, truly not going to allow him to affect her life.
Well, I know she said that she was able to do it because she said, I don't want anyone else to get hurt. And we thank you so much for joining us this morning. And as even the defense attorney said, what a courageous act by Elizabeth Smart. Thank you, Ed.
Well, could I just say one last thing, and that is that, you know, when you look at what these children potentially are exposed to, we have to do something as a country to change that. And I would highly recommend people to go to the radkids.org site and see about helping to teach your children and help them understand that nobody has the right to do these kinds of things to them, and that you know, they can tell, because a lot of kids don't know and feel that they can tell other people, and this is something that absolutely has got to change.
So that no one else gets hurt, as she said.
Absolutely.
Thank you again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.